Good morning. I'm going to try another recipe today. I had fun doing the last one, and so I thought I could try another one that is one of our favorites. I'm going to spray the pan real quick, and it's very, very hot. And here I have 1.5 pounds of chopped sirloin. The recipe calls for flank steak, but Jean was able to get these sirloins on sale very reasonably, and you know steak is expensive lately. So I'm going to just use this sirloin that we had, and it just sautés very quickly. And while it's cooking, I want to tell you about the sauce that's on it, because the sauce has a lot of ingredients, so I mixed them up ahead of time, but I want to tell you what's in it. It has a tablespoon of soy sauce, a tablespoon of Worcestershire, 3 tablespoons of sugar-free ketchup, and that's the only kind of ketchup I use now. 3 teaspoons of sriracha sauce, and if you don't like it quite as hot, you can cut back. It really doesn't make it too hot. And 2 teaspoons of ginger, and this is a new way I bought ginger. Usually I grate it up myself, but this looked a lot easier to buy it in the tube. And then I swirl those together, and they're going to go in later. The steak is cooking, and then I'm going to add the onions. Exactly 1/2 cup of onions are going in to cook with that steak. And I have it on high because I want the steak to cook quickly and get done. It always seems longer for things to cook when I know I'm videoing it. Usually this cooks so quick I can hardly stand it. So that's just about done. And I'm going to take it out and keep it warm on a plate, because it's going to cook a little bit more later. So it doesn't have to be, the little pink is still okay. And now I'm going to put in the peppers. And this is 3 full chopped peppers. Actually, I have those little peppers. Have you ever had all this stuff in your refrigerator and you know you need to use it up because it's going to go bad if you don't? And that's one reason I'm making this recipe, because I have all these peppers. They're left over from another recipe that we overbought for. And I'm going to saute these peppers and get them a little browned and nice and tender. And peppers, I still want a little bit of crunch on them. I don't want them too soggy. So, while these are cooking, let's see, I'm going to double check. I've got everything else ready. I forgot to put the little piece of foil here on the meat to keep it warm. And they're starting to get brown. So this is a meal that we have had several times, and it's one of our favorites because Jean and I both like steak. And the other night we went out and we had steak out, and I came home and I said, we just spent a whole lot of money on a meal and my stomach feels terrible. Let's eat at home the next time. So I think it would be truthful to say we both enjoy eating these healthy meals at home more than spending a lot of money on a steak somewhere else when we can do it here. So that's looking, they're getting really brown now. And before anything gets too burnt, I'm going to dump those on top. And then the only thing left, oh my gosh, that meat stuck to the pan. Okay, I'm not a professional. All right, so, and this is just a little bit of garlic I'm going to brown up. It was just 1 clove of garlic. And let it just brown for a second in here, because you probably all know that garlic gets bitter if you let it brown too long. And then this is the sauce, and I told you earlier that I mixed all this up and whisked it together, and it's so delicious I don't want to waste a drop of it. So I'm going to do this and just warm this up. And then I'm going to throw all of this back in. So now it's starting to look really delicious. Hey, Jean, can you get a little bit closer and get a good picture of that and how delicious that looks all together? Well, for one thing, it's colorful and it has steak, which always makes things good. And I'm going to get it all coated in that yummy sauce that had tons of good stuff in it. And then the last thing I'm going to do that really tops it all off is the cheese. And this is provolone, low-fat provolone. And I'm just going to spread this over it and have it meld into it. I had to kind of cut some pieces so I can cover the whole thing. Because, of course, the cheesy part's always the best, isn't it? Well, I don't know if anything's better than steak. So now all that provolone will melt into the recipe. I'm turning it off. I'm going to stick it in the broiler and it'll come out all melted and ready to eat in about 3 minutes. That's it.